the data points, the statistics, and the notes and the history we have on the spike, this spike has been breaking records left and right. This spike has helped people break American records, area records, national records, even world records. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the video. I was putting in today's video. I hope you enjoyed the last episode of you guys about all about discussing and kind of reviewing Usain Bolt's 2008 Olympic Beijing diet. Once again, as we discussed in that video, this diet is not to be consumed by most of us. If you ate 1,000 chicken nuggets in 2 weeks, once again, as the article said, you wouldn't be breaking many world records, but you'd probably break your chair, if you know what I mean. So it was super fun to go back and see, like, oh, yeah, Usain Bolt did break three world records in this Olympics, but what happened behind the scenes? What happened behind the scenes was you would have never thought that he would have broken 3 world records, and I don't even think, if I were him, I would have thought, I'm not going to break 3 world records with this. I'm probably not even going to be able to compete for the win. But somehow he pulled it off, won 3 gold medals, on top of that, broke 3 world records, 6 accomplishments in 1 Olympics, which was absolutely insane. But it was super fun to go back and talk with you guys all about how he basically survived off McDonald's for the 2 weeks he was in Beijing, and to run at Beijing and find a way to survive off chicken nuggets is insane, and I really do hope you guys enjoyed that one. I definitely did. Shout out to Mr. Usain Bolt. You are insane. And remember, I would not suggest this diet for most people. But if you are a warrior and a challenger, and you like to challenge yourself, and you like to beat yourself up, if you do this, send me a video. I might feature it in one of my future videos. You guys, so that's probably gonna do it up for this first block of the intro. And now we're going to our second block of the intro, the top of today's video. So in today's video, as you guys probably saw by the awesome thumbnail and the title we put on this video, it's pretty obvious. We are going to be discussing, I'm going to be putting up my first impressions on the Nike Air Zoom Dragon. Actually, I don't even think it's Air Zoom. I think it's the Nike Dragonfly Next Percent Track Spike. This track spike has been one of Nike's newest spikes. I did review the Victories for you guys. I did get my first impressions on those ones. Those are the 805,000 spikes. I will link that video down in the description below. Go check it out after this one. But this spike is more of your long distance one. This is the one that people have been using for the 10,000 and anything above that. So this is really the prime spike that you see in a lot of you guys probably saw it in the Tokyo Olympics. You guys probably saw it in the World Indoor Championships. If you guys saw that. There's a ton of videos on YouTube. You can go watch them all. But yeah, so this spike is definitely one of the best spikes out there. Plus, it does come with its very own flashy spike bag, which is another way I like it. So yeah, I'll be giving you my first impressions on the spike. Now, this spike, it's not like the Victories where I had my first impressions. I have worn this spike. I did wear it to nationals, but I have only worn this spike 4 times. So it is relatively new, and it has relatively not a lot of use on it, only about 3 miles of use from nationals. So this spike definitely is pretty brand new. I only got it about a month ago, so it's not that old either. I haven't run it that much, because these are kind of saved for races only. So yeah, I'll be giving you my first impressions on, let me check my notes here. I do have my notes. So my first impressions on the upper, which is this part right here, the top part that holds your foot in, the midsole, which is this part right here in the middle, and the insole. Well, the midsole, is the foam in the middle, and this is the insole right here. I will be talking to you guys about the outsole, which is the stuff on the bottom, and the tread and the spikes, obviously. I will be talking to you guys about the laces right here. These are very nice laces. The weight of the spike, it is super light, and the color of the spike, which I love again. It's the same, actually, same color as my Victories. Once again, go check out that video down in the description below. And the 2 ones that are basically the same to the Victories, how long I think the spike will last me, and how I think it will perform on the track. So these we will all be discussing in pretty deep detail. I will tell you guys all of my feelings on all of them, and yeah, I think we're gonna have a ton of fun reviewing the spike and me giving you my first impressions on it. And I do think the spike is gonna take me very far, and it already has a pretty decent amount of history behind it. So let's get straight to it. You guys, so that's probably gonna do it up for this first block for this intro of the video. And now it's into our first block of the video. giving you my first impressions on the upper. Alright guys, in this first block of the video, we're gonna be I'm gonna kind of be giving my first impressions on the upper and how I like it and how I think it'll last. So first of all, we're gonna talk about this more in the weight and color block, but I just want to take a moment to appreciate the color of this upper. I know it is hard for you guys to see, but this color is the light, like almost like a light, like neon green type color, which is amazing, but we'll get more into that in the block where it actually happens. But getting straight to the upper, so for the upper, this upper is once again the nice mesh upper that they had. If you guys can actually see it, it has little holes in it. They call this the mesh upper because they call it super breathable. Once again, I don't really believe in how much that helps you. I mean, I guess it helps you somewhat because these obviously have some history behind them. I will tell you guys more about that later. But yeah, so these, I mean, I don't really know how much the mesh upper helps you, but it's very comfortable. It's super lightweight. This shoe weighs almost nothing in total, but if the shoe weighs almost nothing in total with everything, then, yeah, I mean, the upper weighs like nothing. It's super light. It's super flexible too. It's not like restrictive at all, really. It's super mesh, super breathable. Yeah, so I really like the upper personally. I really, I think it holds my foot in really well. I did run at nationals with this, shoes, so it does hold my foot in super well, which I really love about it. We'll talk more about the laces, but the upper is a little bit loose, so it's not super snug to your foot, which I like, but it's also not as tight as I would like, because the upper is slightly loose, so you have to pull the laces super tight to tie them, which is one thing I would take away that I don't really like about this upper. But other than that, I really do like everything else about this upper. The mesh, how light it is, how comfortable it is. It does a decent job of keeping your foot in, but it could be a little bit more restrictive. But yeah, so I like the upper overall, and yeah, that's probably gonna do it up for that. Yeah, guys, that's probably gonna do it up for this first block of the video, and now to into our second block of the video. I think it is me giving you my first impressions on the midsole and the insole. Guys, in the second block of the video, we're going to be, or I should say, I'm going to be giving you my first impressions on the midsole, which is the part right here with the foam, and the insole, which is like the part with like the lining on it and where your foot actually sticks into, where the upper actually has to hold your foot into to make sure it doesn't fall out. So let's start off with the midsole, and then we'll transfer into the insole. But yeah, so for the midsole, I would once again, we'll talk about more about this in the color block, but this shoe, I really like it because it's kind of like a blend of colors right here. It kind of has the neon light green all the way here, and then it kind of blends with the orange, which I really like, and as you get towards the back, the orange kind of takes over the color, which is super nice, but again, we'll talk more about that in the color block. So with the foam, I do really like the design of the foam. Once again, it has like the mini ridges on it, if you guys can see it. You guys can see it very faintly, I think, but I think I've done a pretty good job with showing you guys. It has like the mini ridges on it, which is fun to run your finger along, obviously. And, it's just a really cool design because most shoes don't have that. And, yeah, so I kind of just like to run my finger down it a lot when I'm just holding the spike. But yeah, so I like the design of it. For the foam itself, once again, this is Nike's awesome Zoom X foam, which is the highest class foam that Nike has. So it's super, super lightweight. It's super duper comfortable. I mean, this shoe has probably the best materials of all, and it's like one of the lightest shoes ever. This Nike Zoom X foam, once again, it has been in a lot of their racing shoes, hence the Next Percent, the Alpha Fly, the Victory had some of it. This one doesn't have the AirPods, which we'll get into more about the tread, but it doesn't have the AirPods, so it has foam leading all the way from the back to the front, which the Victory did not have because it had the front part with the AirPods on it. But yeah, so that's probably all I have to say really for the foam. Once again, it's super squishy. It's really easy to just take my finger and just squish it in here, which is another reason why I love it so much, because it really just kind of, when you put energy in, you really get that energy back out from the shoe, and that's really what you want in a really good track spike. Moving on to the insole. This insole I really like because it's It's also pretty squishy, which is kind of nice because you can get the insole squishy, but then you also have the foam that's retracting all your energy and giving it back to you. So the insole is very nice. It has the Nike classic, just do it inside with the Nike symbol. But yeah, so I think this, insole is pretty good. Once again, color block, we'll talk about this more, but I really do like the color of the insole. But you know, it's just your classic insole. I think it is stitched into the shoe if I can see correctly. If I can get you guys a good shot in there. I think this part right here is stitched into the shoe. But yeah, so it's kind of just your classic insole. It is lightweight. Obviously the shoe is so light. It is very comfortable. It's very, squishy, and I can even just squish my finger right into it. Yeah, so I really do like the midsole and the insole. Think it's super comfortable, and yeah, those are probably all I have to say for that. You guys, so that's probably going to do it up for the second block of the video, and now let's move into our third block of the video. I'm giving you my first impressions on the outsole, the tread, and the spikes. Guys, in this third block of the video, we're going to be, or I should say, I'm going to be giving you my first impressions on the outsole, the tread, and the spikes. So I think I'm going to start off with the outsole, then I'll move to the tread, and then the spikes last. Again, I'm going to try to do it in the order where the spikes are really the thing that we're going to talk about the least. The tread we're not really going to talk about, but it's still going to be a factor. And the outsole is the thing we're really going to talk about in this block, and it's kind of going to be like the centerpiece of it. So to start off with the outsole, just right off the bat, like I said in the this Victory also had it. It has this little rigid, like plate in the back. So it's like a clear plate almost, but it's kind of nice because if sometimes you heel strike, which I can do at times, obviously we all try not to whenever we possibly can, but whenever you heel strike, it can sometimes catch that, and it makes it so the spike isn't beat up. This is a technology that hasn't really been used in past modern spikes, but in the modern day Nike spikes, this is very useful, and I do find this useful, and I find this to have a really nice purpose, because it keeps your spike from, first of all, not getting torn up, but second of all, it can keep your spike from looking nicer, and I know spikes, they don't matter if they look nice, but it can keep them from dying out as quick. It can make them last longer. So that's right off the bat. Again, right off the bat, at the bottom here, they do have some more of that classic ZoomX foam with the Nike, big Nike symbol at the bottom here. The ZoomX foam down here isn't quite as squishy. I think it's a little more compact, just because it's at the bottom and they don't need the really squishy foam, because if it was, it'd be like unlevel to the ground, and that's the last thing you want in a track spike. It's not like a road racing shoe where you want like the Alpha Fly where it's like off the ground. You want it kind of like level to the ground, so it's not gonna be, it's unlike the Victory. This one's more level to the ground, whereas the Victory is more on your toes and not quite as level to the ground. But this is definitely more compact ZoomX foam, but still the super squishy foam. It's super lightweight, once again stitched in, but you know, I really do like this. I kind of do wish, I love the midsole because of how squishy the foam is, but the outsole definitely does have its squish. It does have, it is stitched in, so it's going to stay there, and it also does have its support for your feet. Moving on to the tread. So for the tread, again, it's kind of the same tread as the Victory, actually. The tread is really nice because it has the ridges on it, so you can run on it. Once again, I said this in the Victory video. Go check that out in the description. But you can actually, like, if you don't want to run with your spikes in, say you might be running on a cross-country trail or something, or trails with rocks on it, and you don't want to run in your spikes, these little bumps on the tread, if you guys can see, these little, like, waves right here, they can kind of act as your spikes, which is kind of nice, because if you say you forget your spikes, well, you're not going to get the same traction as if you had spikes, but at least you're still going to get some traction, and you're still able to run with the spike. I know you're not going to get the same traction, but at least you'll get something, and you can still wear the spike. But once again, the color is really nice, but we'll talk about that later. It doesn't really attract too much dirt and grime. See, there's a little bit of it, but that's obviously because I've worn them now. It's not like the Victories where they're like perfectly clean, because I hadn't worn them at that point. I actually just gotten them like a day beforehand, or maybe it was that day, I don't even know. I did tell you guys in that video which day it was I got them. But yeah, so the tread doesn't really pick up that much dirt and grime, which I like. It stays pretty clean, actually. I've used it for 3 races, and it's pretty decently clean. It's still pretty, it's still pretty teal blue, so I like that about it. But yeah, so that's probably going to say it up for that. It also is super rigid, which I like. It's not going anywhere. It's not moving anywhere. It's not going anywhere like that. So that's also something I like. I forgot to mention this in the midsole block. There is the carbon fiber plate like the Victory. Again, if I try to bend this spike, it's not going to bend unless I snap it, basically. But that carbon fiber plate does add that extra ridge to the tread, and yeah, I really like it. Moving on to our last part, the spikes. These spikes aren't like the Victories. I do wish they were the golden spikes, because the Victories had some pretty cool spikes on them. But these are just your typical average spikes. I think they're the 410 pyramid spikes or whatever. They're your typical average spikes. There's 6 of them, 6 holes. They've held up pretty well. Again, I've only used them for 3 races, but I do think these spikes are going to hold up pretty well. Once again, just typical track spikes. They're not anything special. They're not colored. They're just typical ones that you find in any spike store. So they're not really special, but I do hope they last a long time, and I do really like them, and they give me some really good traction on the track. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to do it up for this third block of the video, and now it's into our fourth block of the video. I think it's reviewing the laces, if I'm not mistaken. Alright guys, in this fourth block of the video, we're gonna be, or I should say I am gonna be, I should really get that right, but I should say I'm gonna be giving you my first impressions on the laces of the spike. So to start off with the laces, first of all, like the Victories, they have the ridges, which I do like, because they do say the rigid laces. Once again, this could be true, this could be totally false, but in my opinion, I do think the rigid laces are much better than the smooth laces. They don't quite come as tight as they don't come as untied as well. My Alpha Flies have this, and all new Nike shoes are starting to have this at this point. Nike has realized, oh, these rigid laces don't come untied as well. And if you guys can see, they do have the little ridges right there, right along the side right here. But yeah, so these ridges, they definitely help to keep them tied more. I think it's just the added protection and the grip that they have on them that's helping them. So yeah, I really do love these ridges, and I think they're definitely going to benefit me. But yeah, so the laces are also super lightweight, which is really nice. Once again, we'll talk about this more in the next block, which is the weight and color block. But this shoe is incredibly light. So the laces are so light, yet they're probably the best laces out there, shockingly. But yeah, so the laces are so light, and I do really, really love the color. There's also this nice connector piece that keeps them together on both spikes. It does have a cool design on it, so I also like that too. But yes, that's probably going to do it for that. Once again, I do really like the ridges. They keep it tied. I like the fact that they're super light. They're not smooth, which I like. I like how the connector piece keeps them together, and hopefully that stays on long enough. And yeah, I love the color as well. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to do it up for this fourth block of the video. And now it's into our fifth block of the video. I'm giving you my first impressions on the weight and the color of this. Alright guys, in this fifth block of the video, we're going to be pretty much discussing the weight of the spike and the color of the spike. Now, this is the block I've been waiting for a long time, because I love the color and the color of the spike. It's amazing in all directions, all sizes, all places. But I also love the weight of the spike because it's super light. So I'm going to start off with the weight, and then we'll move into the color. So for the weight, this spike, I think when people measured it, I have seen YouTube videos about this, other recaps on it. I think people say the spike measures in at 4.4 ounces. That is incredibly, incredibly light. For the fact that the spike contains a pretty decent upper that's pretty mesh, full-length ZoomX foam, a carbon fiber plate, extra ZoomX foam on the bottom, a very, very good and nice tread, nice spikes, really nice laces, and a nice insole. For this spike to only weigh 4.4 ounces on Nike's part, this is amazing. I love everything about this shoe, but I think what I love most about it is the weight, because the fact that Nike can pack all this stuff into one simple track spike. I mean, don't get me wrong, the spike is not simple. It's super complicated. It's probably super designed, and it's super expensive too. They could have made a little less than $150, which is going to take a real gout out of your price tag or your checkbook. or your bank account. But I mean, yeah, so I really do love this shoe for the weight. It never will weigh you down in a race. I will try to find some photos of me running at nationals, but this shoe is the only thing that benefited me at nationals, aside from the training I've done. But this shoe definitely benefited me, only because not only was it responsive and really good at giving you energy back, but it was so light that I didn't even realize they were on my feet half the time, which was super, super nice to not have to worry about that. But yeah, the weight of the shoe is amazing. Nice job on Nike. They could have made it a little bit cheaper, but still, I love the weight of the shoe. It's super light. It's super flexible. It's super durable. And yeah, I love it so much. Moving on to the color of the shoe. Now, we have spoken a little bit about the colors in the past blocks, but I told you I would save this for this one. I love the color of this shoe so much. The upper is the neon green, which I love a lot. The midsole, as I told you guys, is it has the like the neon stuff from like the toe box all the way up, but then it has the orange neon foam that kind of contracts with it and like intertwines with it, which is kind of nice. I love that, the fact that has that. I love the tread as well. The tread has a nice teal blue color to it. So I love that. I love the Nike swoosh because it has that nice orange neon color that we see in the ZoomX foam and the midsole. But yeah, so I love all around the colors of the shoe. It's super bright. It's super colorful. If you want a shoe that sticks out, this is definitely a Nike shoe that's meant for you. Any shoe that you want to stick out and you want a track spike and you want to be able to run fast and you want it responsive, this is one of the best shoes for that. And if you're running long distance, I guarantee this will give you your best performance ever. You guys, so that's probably going to do it up for this fifth block of the video. And now it's going to our sixth block of the video. I'm going to be giving you my first impressions on how long I think this spike will last me. Alright guys, in the sixth block of the video, I'm going to be giving you my first impressions on how long I think the spike is going to last me. So, first of all, let's look at the data. So, based on the data we have, and based on all the statistics we have, we'll talk about more of this in the next block about performance. This will be more important in the performance block, how well I think it will perform. But I definitely think, based on the data, this shoe is bound to last me a pretty long time. Now, that goes for the Victory as well, but we're not talking about the Victory, we're talking about the Dragonfly. But I think the way this shoe was made and the way this shoe was modeled and compacted and stitched and everything, I just think, and for the price I paid, I really do hope it lasts me a long time. But I think this shoe can last me as long as I don't grow out of it, hopefully. The growing out of that part's going to be the only thing I worry about. But I think if I don't grow out of the shoe and it stays in tip-top shape for a long time, I do think the shoe can get me through at least a year to a year and a half. If not, the most ideal thing would be get me through 4 seasons, 2 outdoor track, 2 indoor track. If this spike could last me 2 years, that would be awesome. But I think my most preferred distance for a spike is, I really, really do hope it lasts me at least a good solid year, maybe even a year and a half, if I'm really, really lucky 2 years. But the way this spike is put together, the way it's compacted and everything else, the way I think it performs, and the way I just discussed with you guys all about the upper, the insole, the midsole, the outsole, the tread, and the spikes, and the laces, and I do really, really think that this spike is going to last me at least a good solid year. If I'm really, really lucky, 2 years, and if I can get super lucky, maybe I could even get 2.5 years out of this. But 1 to 1.5 years would be perfect. But 2 years would be amazing, and maybe even 2.5 would be awesome. 3 would be just astounding and mind-blowing. But once again, a good year to a year and a half is really all I want out of this Nike Dragonfly Track Spike. You guys, so that's probably going to do it up for this sixth block of the video. And now let's go into our seventh and final block. Actually, no. I think this is either our sixth or seventh block of the video. And now let's go into our I think it's seventh and final block of the video. I'm going to give you my first impressions on how I think this spike will perform. Alright guys, in the seventh and final block of the video, I think, I'm going to be telling you guys my first impressions on how I think the spike will perform. So, like I said in the last block, the data points, the statistics, and the notes and the history we have on the spike, this spike has been breaking records left and right. This spike has helped people break American records, area records, national records, even world records. People are winning races in this spike, left, right, front and center. So it's just insane how much this bike has on it. I mean, even in nationals, this bike helped me win 3 medals. It also helped me break a facility record in the 3000. It also helped me win the 15 and the 3 against some amazingly talented runners and finish 6 in the 8. So this spike clearly, as of right now, is looking to go on course to be one of probably the greatest spike I have ever raced in. Once again, I mean, I'm saying that pretty early on, only about a month in, only 3 races with it. But as of right now, based on what I have run in this spike looks to be lasting me a very, very long time. Now, I could be completely wrong, this spike looks to be performing really, really, really well. Now, I could be completely wrong. This spike could not perform well at all. But as of what I've had right now for performances in this spike is looking to be one of the greatest performance spikes ever. I mean, we have seen Grant Fisher break an American record in these spikes. Bowerman athlete Elise Craney almost break an American record in these spikes. We saw many, many, many Olympic champions last year win in these spikes, especially in the 5,000 and 10,000 meters. We have seen at the World Indoor Championships, go watch videos on YouTube, you'll see these things left, right, and center everywhere. So it's insane, and I really do think these are going to be the best performance spikes I have ever run in my entire youth running career. Yeah, guys, so that's probably going to do it up for the 7th and final block of the video, and that's probably going to wrap it up for today's video. Alright guys, and I really do hope you enjoyed this video. I really do hope you enjoyed listening to me give you all my first impressions on the upper, the midsole, and the insole, the outsole, the tread, and the spikes, the laces, how long I think the spike will last me, and how I think this spike will perform. And referring to this spike, which is the Nike Dragonfly Next Percent Track Spike. These are an amazing spike made by Nike. If you guys would like to purchase these spikes, I will be linking the link down in the description below, so please go check them out. You can also find these spikes on many different other websites if they are not sold out yet. You can find them on Runner's Warehouse, which is a very good website, Roadrunner, which is an amazing website. So you can find these spikes anywhere. But these spikes are amazing, and I love them so much. I really did love running in them. Once again, I will try to dig out some photos from nationals of me running in the spikes, just to see. I mean, these spikes, they help me do so much. Like, with only 3 races under their belts, they've helped me. I mean, I've won 2 national championships in these spikes, broke a facility record, and won 3 All-American status in these national championships. Once again, this was against amazing fields, and my training probably came down to the best of it, but these spikes, definitely, I need to give them credit to where credit is due. They are amazing. They have performed amazing in the past when I have worn them, and plus they come with a pretty flashy spike bag, as you guys see in my background right there. But yeah, so I really love these spikes so much, and I really do hope you guys enjoyed me talking all about everything all about these spikes. One day, I really do hope Nike will start sending me their spikes, and I will start doing deeper reviews for you guys. Maybe I can finally say that it doesn't take a cut out of my my bank account, because they're $150. Nike could do a little bit of better job on pricing for these. They're amazing, but I don't think you need to charge $150 for a pair of track spikes when most road racing shoes that Nike sells. I'm wearing a pair of shoes right now that cost $130, and I'm showing you a pair of spikes that are made. I'm showing you the pair of shoes that are specifically made for the track that cost $20 more than that. So maybe lower the price, Nike, but other than that, amazing shoe. I loved it so much, and I really do hope you guys really enjoyed it. So make sure you go check it out down in the description. Yeah, so I really do hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you stick around for the pictures if I can dig them out today. I will try my hardest to dig them out for you guys, and yeah, so I will do that. Maybe I'll even include some pictures of some famous athletes that have run some really, really amazing national records, world records, Olympic titles, gotten so many area records, national, indoor world championship World Indoor Championship wins. Maybe I'll post a few pictures of that to show you guys how dominant these spikes actually are, and maybe I'll post some statistics at the end of the video as well. So make sure you stick around for that as well. You guys, so hope you enjoyed that. Stick around with this quote, and you guys are going to love it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have fun, keep running. Maybe go try to buy the Nike Dragonfly Track Spikes. Again, they are super expensive, but they are super good spikes. And peace out, guys. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about everything about how did I mess up on that? That was terrible. Alright guys, this fourth block of the video, we're gonna be discussing all about sorry, let me pull up my notes right here. Shoot. I deleted some of my notes, so that's fun. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the video. Before we jump into today's video, I said, hope you enjoyed the last episode of you guys about the Outsole, shoot, I can't believe I messed up 10 seconds.